Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Life Repair Recovery Talk Radio with Rick Thompson, only on LA Talk Radio.
Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Life Repair Recovery Talk Radio. My name is Rick Thompson. Welcome to the broadcast. In the studio with me this evening are Lauren, Omra, and Tony. Tonight we are going to discuss the disease of alcoholism. So here we go. Say hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. And I'm going to start this off tonight by letting Lauren review some statistics that she has put together this afternoon. And so go ahead.
Thanks, Rick. I looked up some statistics, thank you, for alcohol, seeing what it's doing to our country right now. And alcohol is responsible for over 40% of motor vehicle accidents, fatalities, 70% of drownings, 50% of suicides, and 40% of violent crimes. Now, those are the ones that they know about. As you well know, there are many different causes, and they're not always revealed. I also found out that the youth is, 35% of all children have drank by the time they're 15 years old. And the children are responsible for 11% of all the alcohol consumed in the nation. And alcohol is responsible for 189,000 emergency room visits, 4,300 deaths annually. And again, those are what is reported.
Right, and there's all the other things that aren't reported.
Absolutely. There are so many collateral damage, diseases, and effects of the body that are not counted as alcoholism, that are not included in these stats at all, as all of us in this room know all too well.
Tony, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, as sad as those numbers are, there's no way in God's green earth you're going to stop people from getting high. I don't care how old they are or how young they are. So at the end of the day, it probably would be more realistic for people to have in schools and whatever, to have a meaningful, less lame kind of dialogue
right.
about drinking and drugs. And, I know that I did some research years ago, over 20 years ago, and I think there was 165 fatalities every year as a result of alcoholism, be it automobile, like you were saying, or, heart attacks,
mm-hmm.
or people, falling and then suicides. So, and I'm sure that number in the past 20 years has gone up. And there's really nothing you can do about it. Mm-hmm. That's the really sad thing. The only positive note is that there exists, if there was real, genuine counseling provided for kids, and not this some parent or some parent figure pointing a finger down at the kid.
Right.
Hopefully it would probably be better served if it was done by their peers. But, the way that the structure of informing people is set up it's very antiquated, and it's going to take a while for that system to disappear. Eventually somebody will say, hey, guess what? It's not working. I know that every time the United States declares war on something,
yeah.
we lose.
Right.
The war, whoever they're declaring war on wins.
War on drugs.
Yeah. War on drugs,
Just
war on poverty,
no. Yeah.
war on alcoholism,
right.
war on,
Yeah, it's all. I think it's just mostly a spin for the media anyway, because it's every time they
also
have a
politicians.
theme,
I mean,
that's what they get elected.
Back in the 70s, and there was always the war on drugs and war on crime and all that stuff, and it was just sound bites to get out there, and people would say, oh yeah, right, yeah, we gotta. And now finally, some 40 years later, they're realizing that punitive measures aren't the solution. People have been getting high since the beginning of time. I mean, Solomon even talks about, alcoholics in the Bible, and he says to the other people, he goes, well, I forget, I don't want to I'm not going to quote it exactly, but I'm sort of paraphrasing. He's like, well, they're a little goofy,
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
sort of
on a lot of
like,
levels.
they sort of like act like they've been in the sun too long.
Yeah.
So have a little, like, try to be kind to them, but not, not letting them get away with it, but just, understand that and they're so afflicted. And so again, like, since the beginning of time, people have been doing that. So that's not going to happen. People are constantly looking for an alternative conscience in their life.
Right.
Exactly.
Consciousness.
Any way to not feel.
Yeah.
And Tony, what you were talking about, I know I've gone into high schools or junior high schools, bringing a message that you don't have to go all the way down to get your life better. But I know for me that if someone had come in when I was 14, 15, I remember if you smoke pot, you're going to do acid, and then you're going to jump off a building, and that didn't apply to me. It didn't apply to me. I never thought that it would happen to me. We talked about this last week. It seems as though it starts, or at least it did for me, for fun. We're doing it for fun. We're doing it to hang out. I don't know. Did you do